Morning, good evening, good afternoon, traders and students all around the world. Happy Monday. This is FXPassion broadcasting you live on YouTube, and this is Forex Trading Course 101. Hello Zuelios, how are you? Remember everybody the three pillars. We're trying to build a strategy and or a system that it's easy for us to understand. We are trying to learn about risk management and how this affects our strategy and or system, and the big one, we are trying to learn some basic stuff about the psychology, right? Hello Miguel, how are you? Miguel, I send you a message on Skype. When you can, if you would be so kind, check your Skype, Miguel. I send you a message on Skype. Hello Salbakti, how are you? Ciao Giuseppe, come stai? Giuseppe, devo visitare Italia un'altra volta. Chissà, chissà. L'anno prossimo, no? Vediamo un poco. Everybody, we are in the intermediate module, so we are passed over the beginner and the basic module. And if this is your first time, everybody, please go back on the Ducascope YouTube webinar page and start to watch the lesson number 1, starting with the basic module and market structure. Okay, so we are in the intermediate module and we are learning about the Fibonacci's. Everybody, don't worry, we are going to spend 2 months on the Fibonacci's. Okay, and remember everybody, 90% of traders lose money in the Forex market worldwide. Why is that? Huh? Why is that? What do you think? Is because the strategy and or a system? It's because risk management, or it's because the psychology part? Why do you think 90% of traders lose money in the Forex market worldwide? And what do champion beginner traders say? Champion beginner traders say that I am not going to live and die on a trade by trade basis. And of course this is a quote from Mark Douglas. And remember everybody, these webinars are not trading or investment advice. The webinars are for educational purposes only. And for homeworks or questions, you have my Gmail contact, my Skype contact, and my LinkedIn contact. You can come when you like, you're welcome. Thank you Giuseppe, what city are you from? Hello Annie, how are you? Yes, I will check it. For do not work often with Skype, I use FaceTime, but I will certainly review. No Miguel, don't worry, thank you. Thank you. I have FaceTime, but you need to have iPhone, you know. FaceTime is great, you know. Okay everybody, so how to adjust the original Fibonacci in a downtrend? Do you have a currency pair, everybody? Okay, I have one for you, okay. Let's open everybody AUD USD. AUD USD, AUD USD. It's a pair that it's quite tradable by traders, professional traders, beginner traders. Psychology, Salbakti, exactly. Okay, AUD USD this time everybody, monthly chart, weekly chart, daily chart, and the 2-hour chart, right? Let's compress the chart everybody. So we have the upper band, right? We have the lower band, and this is where we are going to start. Oh, and the picture, right? The picture, where is the picture? The picture about the original Fibonacci. If you want to have this picture everybody, just send me an email on say to me hello on Skype and I'm going to send you. You are going to have 3 pictures with quite, I mean, a lot of rules. MHB, do you have time after the webinar to have a quick chit chat? MHB, do you have time after the webinar to have a quick conversation? Your plan is moving on. Okay. MHB, we have Okay, let's do AUD USD, and then if we have time, if not tomorrow, right? If not today, tomorrow we're going to talk about Euro Dollar. MHB, I need to talk to you. Do you have time after the webinar? So number one, the original Fibonacci. We use the original Fibonacci to determine trend direction. Then we compare trend direction from the larger time frame to the lower time frame. And three, lastly, we need to identify in what zone are the Fibonacci's on the larger time frame and the smaller time frame. South Italy, wow, nice, Giuseppe, congratulations. MHB, you are the boss, you know, not me. Okay, so horizontal line to help ourselves. This is going to be our A. Just give it a second. This is going to be our A, and again horizontal line. This is going to be our B. This is going to be our B. And Fibonacci retracement tool, A to B. And you can color code everybody the levels here, you know. Original, I'm going to have black, red, blue, green, 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 black, red again. Okay, something like this. And text, hello King, how are you? ABC. And somewhere down here we are going to have the D, right? A, B, C, D. Yes, boss, I have time. Okay, great. I'm going to call you after the webinar, okay? It's going to take you 5 to 10 minutes max. Okay, everybody, so we have the A, we have the B, we have the C, and we have the D. Tell me, which one is the D? Is the first circle the D? Or is the second circle the D? Or is the third circle the D? Which one is the D, everybody? Which one is the D? Is the first circle the D, the second, or the third? Remember, everybody, we are still learning the basics of the Fibonacci's, okay? So what we are trying to do, we are trying to identify the trend direction on the monthly, weekly, and daily, and we are trying to identify if all the three time frames show us the same direction. And if the answer is yes, then we can make a trading plan according to the Fibonacci. And if not today, everybody, tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we are going to talk about Zuelius number 1. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the Euro Dollar, okay? Salbakti 1. Anybody else? Anybody else? And yes, everybody, number 1 is the correct answer, because green goes to green, blue goes to blue, and finally red goes to red, right? So we are going to adjust the Fibonacci in a downtrend, right? Horizontal line, A goes to C, very slowly, and B, horizontal line, B goes to D in here, right? And everybody, if I am too fast with the Fibonacci's, just tell me, okay? Tell me, Passion, slow down, man. Fibonacci retracement tool, A to B, right? Now, this is going to be our C. What is the C? The C is the highest point, not necessarily a high, but the highest point inside the AB boundary before the market hits the appropriate D extension. Now, which one is the appropriate D extension, everybody? Is the first circle the appropriate D extension, or is the second circle? the appropriate extension. And it says 1 from the previous example, yes. What about right now, everybody? We have the A, we have the B, we have the C. And if you find, everybody, that you have different Fibonacci's, you need to check the settings and the time zone of your chart, right? My charts are set to EDT, Eastern Daylight Time, or UTC-5. Those are the so-called New York close charts. Okay? So if you find with your friend or your colleague or your trading partner that maybe you have different Fibonacci's, you need to check what is the time frame, not the time frame, but what is the time zone of your chart. Salbakti 191, yes sir, correct. So what we're going to do, the same thing over again. Horizontal line, A goes to C, very slowly. For the beginner trader, horizontal line, B goes to D down in here. Fibonacci retracement tool from B to A, and we have a new Fibonacci sequence, right? And let's compress the chart. This was an easy one, right? Which one is the C, everybody? Which one is the C? Is the first circle the C? Is the second circle the C? Or is the third circle the C? Which one is the C, everybody? Tricky question. This time, tricky question. Which one is the C? Is the first circle, the second circle, or the third circle? What do you think, everybody? And then we are going to form a simple trading strategy, okay, on the monthly chart. Which one is the C? The first circle, the second circle, or the third? C3. Zuelio says C3. Anybody else? Everybody, I'm telling you, this is a tricky question. Zuelio says C3, circle 3. Anybody else? There is a high after B before first circle. Great job, Salbakti. Thank you, everybody. I told you it was a tricky question. You have a C. The correct C, it's not the first circle, not the second circle, and not the third circle. Correct MHB, C is before C1. You need to pay attention, everybody, to this stuff. Okay, you need to pay attention when you are adjusting your Fibonacci's, when you are alone in your trading station. You need to pay attention, okay? So we have a C. C is up in here. This is the highest point, not the first, not the second, not the third, but this is the highest point. And you can measure this horizontal line like this green one. You know, this is the highest point inside the AB boundary before the market hits the extension. King is asking, can we do example where we don't see the right side of the market wave while the CD is forming? Sure. C does not have to be a low or a high. Yes, correct, Miguel. So what we're going to do, and we have the D, right? Now what we're going to do, we're going to adjust again. Horizontal line, A goes to C, A goes to C, and horizontal line, B goes to D, right? B goes to D, and we have a new Fibonacci. There you go. Okay, so this is the sequence, the Fibonacci sequence on AUD/USD monthly chart. So if we would trade the Fibonacci, everybody, would we make any money with the Fibonaccis? And of course the monthly chart and AUD/USD are just an example. Okay, so you can leave it like this, your Fibonaccis, or you can just delete the first one, the second one, and the third one if you want. Okay, now let's form, everybody. So King, now you have the original Fibonacci, and you don't see what is going to happen, do you? Okay, now everybody, talking about a strategy, right? Talking about the strategy, we have different levels of past resistance in here. So this is 1, this is 2 if you want. And remember what we have learned in the previous lessons. You know, what we have learned in the previous lessons is that are not lines, are not numbers, but are areas. So when we talk about trading the Fibonacci on the monthly chart, everybody, okay, we have the monthly Fibonacci is down, which is the strongest time frame. A lot of money. Yes sir, correct. Now we are outside the monthly bands. What does this mean? I'm not sure that we are outside of the monthly bands, but I'm going to open a new monthly chart. Everybody, you can open the monthly chart like this and go to settings, preferences, chart, and I'm going to change to the GMT UTC. I don't know if looks like every chart is going to change. Let's see. Okay, great. Great question, Annie. Everybody, when the market is out of the monthly bands, and this is a rule. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Annie. So I'm going to go back, okay, settings, preferences, chart, -5, okay. -5, there you go. Okay. Thank you, Annie, for this question. This is a rule, everybody. Rule. When the Fibonacci extension is far outside the monthly bands, we need to reverse the Fibonacci's. Okay, everybody, this goes only for the monthly chart, monthly rules. When the Fibonacci extension is far outside the monthly bands, we need to reverse the Fibonacci's. Okay? There is a problem with this monthly Fib that may be advanced beyond this class, but think it should be mentioned. Thank you, Eddington. Please, sure. Everybody, if you have questions, doubts, if you see problems, please share it, you know. Okay. So this is the Fibonacci. Now, let's talk about the simple trading strategy, everybody. Just for you to learn, and then we are going to do the same on the weekly and daily, okay? Okay. So the lower band, thank you MHB and Eddington, the lower band is at 0.47744. There you go. Okay. Simple trading strategy, everybody. Now the market is going to react sooner or later, but we don't have the crystal ball, right? And we don't know what is going to happen. So if the market is going to hit the first past resistance, then what we are going to have, we are going to see a counter trend line break, right? We are going to see a counter trend line break, and on the smaller time frames we are going to see a change in the short-term trend, right? That's the issue. Okay, thank you, Eddington. Okay, now this is one, but maybe the market is not going to push, it's not going to reverse in here. Maybe the market is going to push further and is going to go to the second past resistance, you know, and we're going to have another counter trend line break. Or okay, so we're going to do like this: PR1, past resistance number 1. We are going to have past resistance number 2, and we are going to have past resistance number 3. Okay, remember everybody, AUD USD monthly chart is just an example. Okay, you are learning how to think. So we have past resistance number 1, we have past resistance number 2, and lastly we have past resistance number 3. Something like this. Okay, so either way, when the market is going to reverse, we don't know when it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, right? So we have past resistance number 1, past resistance number 2, past resistance number 3, you know. So we have the second one, and maybe the market is going to push to the third one, something like this. Okay, this is what we are expecting, everybody, from the market, right? That the market is going to react in some way or another. Now, but we don't know when and where and why and how, but we can prepare ourselves. So the current extension is beyond the lowest low. However, if it continues to go up and create a new higher, see where the extension does not go beyond the lowest low. Yes, sir. Okay, everybody. Now, let's go step by step. Simple trading strategy. Simple trading strategy is going to be simple trading strategy is going to be short or sell the market when number 1 counter trend line break, number 2 bearish candlestick formation, and number 3 risk reward. Okay, this is our simple trading strategy that we are going to trade. Okay, now as you can see, everybody, all 3 setups, okay, all 3 setups are going to have the same number 1 and number 2, right? What is going to be different for every setup is the risk reward. So if we have a bearish candlestick formation, Passion, but it's a month. Yes, it's just an example. Okay. Oh, it's on the monthly chart. You need 1 month. It's just an example. You are learning how to think, but you are going to have this example on other currency pairs and other time frames. Okay. Focus, everybody. So let's say that the market broke this one in here, right? So green goes to green. Now our risk is going to be like this, and red, and our reward, because green goes to green, our reward is going to be like this, right? This is our risk reward, right? So let's make a poll. Who in here, everybody, would enter this trade with this kind of risk reward ratio? Remember, the market can do anything it wants, when it wants, for how long it wants. Let's make a poll, everybody. Who would enter this trade? This is the risk, this is the reward. We have a counter trendline break, bearish candlestick formation, risk reward. Don't be shy, everybody. There is no right or wrong. We are learning how to trade. We are trying to make sense out of the market, you know. So we are going to trade AUD USD on the monthly chart, and we are going to use the same simple trading strategy on the weekly and the daily and the 2-hour chart. Okay. So nobody here? I will. Okay, now what is the challenge, everybody? This is a great setup. It's a great setup, and it's a great risk reward ratio. And Zuelio says no, I would Salbakti, great. But the problem is, everybody, is that the extension of this Fibonacci is passed over the monthly band. Okay, so you could be entering this setup, but you need to be aware, everybody, that 99% of chance you are not going to hit the 1618 extension. Why not? Because the monthly band is set at 0.47. So if this is what the market is going to do, and this is where the market is going to react, then just be careful and profit take, or profit take. If you want to remember, these webinars are not trading advice, but if you are going to enter here, profit take or at the B, which is the 100%, or cancel and replace if you want, cancel and replace until the market gets somewhere down in here. Don't worry, this is still a great setup, okay, because we don't know. Everybody, if you know, no, I would not enter because we have the monthly band. What if the market reacts in here? This is a real probable setup. We don't know. Maybe the market is going to react to the past resistance number 1. Okay, so, but just remember that risk reward ratio is not going to be like this, but your reward is going to be most likely like this, which is still okay, you know. It's not the perfect one, but it's 1 for 1, 1 for 1 and 2. The market created a low already. In the short term, I would enter after the on counter. Most probably the market will go in trend after hit the blue. We don't know, everybody, but it's a great setup, okay? It's a great setup, counter trend and break, bearish candlestick formation, and risk reward maybe not the best, but still you can enter, okay? Just remember that the market, it's not going to hit your 1618 extension. Green is not going to go to green. We do not know if the C is definitely this one. Yes, Miguel, you're absolutely correct. But we are making a plan. Okay, everybody, so this is 1, right? Now, let's say that the market didn't stop on the first past resistance, but the market went up further. So we would enter, let me clone the quadrant. We would enter in here, something like this, right? And here still, what is different in here? Well, we have a better risk reward, but still our the extension is down here. It's at the green, right? So again, if this is would be the setup, past resistance number 2, just make sure that you don't let your winner become to a loser, everybody. And the last example, if the market would react to the last past resistance number 3, everybody, is the last resistance before the market breaks our down Fibonacci on AUD/USD monthly chart, right? And talking about profit taking, it depends. Let's say that the market just touched or closed the blue, you know, then this is where the extension could work very easily. Or maybe the market touched and broke the red, you know, went a little bit up, so your appropriate the extension and your profit take level would be red. Now I enter Zuelius. Everybody, let's talk about a little bit, you know. So you have a great setup, everybody, and some of you is thinking, well, I'm going to enter on past resistance number 3. Okay, this is you, everybody. If you would like to enter in the past resistance number 3, but past resistance number 3 never happens, what you are going to do if happens past resistance number 1? Everybody, if you want to enter in past resistance number 3, everybody, listen to me what I'm going to say to you. If you want to enter on past resistance number 3, but past resistance number 1 happens and the market falls, you are incurring a trader's mistake, and it's called leaving the money on the table. Everybody, professional traders are prepared for all of 3 of them. Professional traders are not picking and choosing. Does this make sense to you, everybody? Professional trader is going to enter or at past resistance number 1, or past resistance number 2, or past resistance number 3. He's not going to pick and choose just 1 or 2. Why is that? Because the professional traders are skilled enough to capitalize on every setup. Zuelius, does this make sense to you? You know? It's not that past resistance is better and past resistance number 3 it's worst, you know. But all 3 of them have it's a great setup and have great risk reward ratios. Everybody, learn to make money. Don't wait, you know, don't be picky and I'm going to do just 3, you know, because we have here the monthly band. You cannot know when the market is going to react. Does this make sense to everybody? If the market reverses on past resistance number 1, you should take the trade. I mean, we are going to check, of course, the weekly and the daily, but if the market reverses in here, take the trade. Or if it reverses in past resistance number 2, you should be taking the trade. Or if it reverses in past resistance number 3, you should be taking the trade. Because I'm telling you, everybody, if you are working in an institution and you are not trading, you are going to have the first warning, second warning, third warning, and you are out. Why is that? Because you are leaving money on the table, you are not trading. You know? What the market reverses in the past resistance number 1 and gives you 2000 pips of profit and you didn't enter because the monthly band is down. How are you going to explain this to your boss? Salbakti, nice! Yes, it is nice. You know? And everybody, we are talking a lot of time, you know, if you have challenges, difficulties, ask for help. Okay? Now, we have our simple trading strategy. Everything is set. What we are going to do right now, we are going to do the same thing on the weekly chart. So, compress the chart. Starting back up, you know. Most likely everything is going to be the same. Horizontal line. What's the time? Okay, we have time. This is going to be our A, this is going to be our B. You know, for the beginner trader, very slowly. This is going to be our A. This is going to be our B. It's clear to me. Great, Annie. Thank you. Fibonacci retracement tool. There you go. Oh, and before I forget, everybody, on Friday we talked about that we are going to have a short meeting to explain you how the next level work. We're going to talk about Forex Course 101, Forex Course 202, about the incubation program, about the acceleration program, about the professional charting software. We are going to do this on Wednesday after the webinar, okay? If you want to be in the meeting, just send me a hello on Skype or send me an email, whatever, you know, so I can give you the Zoom link. So A, B. What is the C, everybody? Which one is the C? Is the first circle the C? Is the second circle the C? Or is the third circle the C? Which one is the C here? This is a tricky one again. And down here somewhere we are going to have our D, right? Somewhere in here. Wow, great example. So, which one is the D? Is the first circle the D? Is the second circle the D? Or is the third circle the D? Everyone, please type in the chat like C1, D2, C2, D3, C3, D1. Which circle do you think is the C? And which circle do you think is the D? Passion, but you don't have a green one. Yes, just give me a second. Okay. Fourth circle, the green one. Now you have three choices, everybody. You have three circles for the C and you have four circles for the D. Make a complete answer. Yes, I'm sorry guys, I have a 20 seconds delay on the chat. But make a complete answer. Just type in the chat C1, D1 or C2, D4, you know, or whatever. Zuelio says C3, D3. Anybody else? MHB is together with Zuelio, C3, D3. Beginner trader students, what about you? What about you, everybody? MHB is not a beginner, Zuelius, yes. Anybody else? Which one is your choice, everybody? C3, king, and D3, what? Which one is the D3? C3D3, correct everybody, yes sir. So C3D3, right? Why again? Because what is the C? The C is the highest point inside the AB boundary before the market hits the appropriate D extension. So, and let me check. I'm in doubt if the market hit the blue one. Horizontal line, yes. So blue goes to blue everybody. This is the C, is the highest point inside the AB boundary, and because blue goes to blue, this is the third circle, is our D. C3D3, yes sir. Since I don't have crystal ball, I would C1D1. Salbakti, you don't need to have a crystal ball, but you must follow the rules. You know, in some point in time it was C1, but because green goes to green everybody, green goes to green, you don't have the D, you know. So in some point in time this was the C, but then the market reversed and then went down, and then the market reversed again and made a higher high inside the AB boundary. So we need to move our C from the first high to the third high, because the third high is the highest point inside the AB boundary, and then blue goes to blue, and the third circle is the D. And it says C3D2, no, blue goes to blue, any. Exactly, Salbakti, you would be keep moving the C. Thank you, Eddington. Okay, just follow the rules everybody. The C is the highest point inside the AB boundary before the market hits the appropriate D extension. So what is the appropriate D extension? Well, blue goes to blue, you know, blue goes to blue, and this is our D extension. Passion, but the market hit the blue before. Yes sir, the market hit the blue extension here, but look at the retracement. The first down wave was not blue retracement, it was in the first down wave the market retraced. In the first down wave the market just retraced to the green. So this is the wrong sequence. The market didn't hit the blue. This is the wrong sequence. Is it clear everybody? Beginner traders, is it clear why this is the A and this is the B? Why this was the C and this was the D? Is this clear? You need to pay attention everybody on the retracements and on the extensions. Okay, so the Fibonacci is like this: A to B, B to C, C to D. This is the Fibonacci sequence, the violet one. The violet one is the Fibonacci sequence, A, B, C, D, not the yellow one. Okay, now we are moving, you know, what is the C, right? Again, the C is the highest point inside the AB boundary. The market again hit the blue, and our D extension must be a low. This is our D. What we're going to do, horizontal line, A goes to C, very slowly, we don't want to make any mistakes in here, and B, blue goes to blue, and B goes down in here. This is our B. Fibonacci retracement tool, connect B with the A, and let's compress the chart a little bit to see what is happening. This was our C, green goes to green, our D extension must be a low, so this is our D. Horizontal line, A goes to C very slowly, A goes to C, A goes to C, horizontal line, and this is the extension, the green one, and let's move the horizontal line to the first low. This is the low, the first low after the market hit the 1618, the extension. So this is our B right now. And this is how we are readjusting a Fibonacci in a downtrend. Right? Understood. Thank you very much. Thank you, Salbakti. Let's compress the chart, everybody, to see. There you go. What is the C? The C, again, it's most likely on the monthly. This is the highest point. This is the C. So A goes to C. And green, right? B goes to D. So this is our B. So we have the same Fibonacci, everybody, on the monthly and weekly. A, B, C, somewhere up in here, and the D is down, right? Okay? Now, let's go. So from the picture, we use the original Fibonacci to determine trend direction, then we compare trend direction from the larger time frame to the lower time frame, and the last thing we need to identify is in what zone are the Fibonacci's on the larger time frame and the smaller time frame. And as a trading rule, everybody, for high probability trades, we should always enter in extensions and in the same direction. All other trades are low probability trades. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm going to go a little bit quickly, everybody, on the daily, because we have 10 more minutes. All right. Okay, so let's wait for the software. Loading. Okay, very quickly, right? A to B, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Compress the chart, A, B, C, D. This is our D. Let me see what is going to happen. A, B, C, D. This was the daily chart. Market went sideways. Okay, there you go. So here we have the blue one, and the first blue one was Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So this is this A, B, C, D. Now we're on the daily chart. A, B, C, D, and again blue goes to blue. This is the blue, so the first low is here. Fibonacci retracement tool, and this one is the highest high, I believe. Okay, so this is one, this is the next one, and compress the chart. Green goes to green. Where is the green? I need to check this one, but this is going to be the C. Let me check if this is the low. Let me check. Yes, it's a low, so it's okay. This is the low, horizontal line up in here. We have a new low here. Fibonacci retracement tool, green goes to green. This was the last one. And let me see if the market broke our down Fibonacci. No, it did not. Let me see if the market hit the red. No, it didn't. So blue goes to blue still. And the blue is our D extension is this one, right? Blue goes to blue. Now this is the Fibonacci on the daily, everybody, and this is the ABCD, and this is our C. Green goes to green, and this is our D. So this is our Fibonacci, everybody, on the daily chart. Okay, let's put down the A. This is our A. This is our B. This is our B. This is our C up in here. Okay, A, B, C, D. So the monthly band, it's 0.477, 0.477, 0.477 something. It's down in here. Okay, this is the monthly band. What do you think, everybody? Do we have a great chance, do we have a great probability to make some money on the monthly, weekly and daily Fibonacci's? Everybody, what do you think? We have a down Fibonacci on the monthly, and we have a simple trading strategy. We have a weekly down Fibonacci, right? And we have a daily down Fibonacci. Do we have a great chance of make some pips? What would you say? And we can draw past resistance, you know. We can go from the monthly and clone chart and go on the daily chart just to see. I'm going to delete. I'm going to delete all the things. I'm going to just leave the resistance levels, you know. Okay. So from a trading standpoint, everybody, what can you do? You can have a daily chart like this, and you can have a daily chart on the side, knowing that the Fibonacci that you are seeing on the right side is the monthly. But in this way, everybody, you can see when the market is reversing and where the market is reversing, and you can see if it's the right time to enter or not. Okay, and remember, if the from the monthly perspective, right, the market can push higher and break past resistance number 1, past resistance number 2, and it can go at the past resistance number 3. Now, what is critical here to understand, everybody, as a beginner trader, is that if the market breaks our Fibonacci on the daily chart, what is going to be the higher probability, the short trade or the long trade? We have a concept in the very beginning that we are teaching you, and it's called the higher time frame controls market direction and price movement on the smaller time frames. If the market hits your stop loss because you are trading the daily Fibonacci, are you going to go long or are you still going to go short? I mean you can do both, you know. But talking about probabilities, who is going to lead who? Is the monthly going to lead the weekly and the daily, or is the daily going to lead the weekly and the monthly? Thank you, King. What do you think, everybody? This is a common beginner trader's mistake. A beginner trader is going to have his stop loss the market is going to hit his or her stop loss, and then the beginner trader is going to reverse, not the Fibonacci, he is going to reverse his direction. The beginner trader is going to short the market, and when the market hits his or her stop loss, he is not going to short anymore, he is going to go long. And guess what is going to happen? As soon as the beginner trader enters the long trade, what is going to happen? As soon as possible, the beginner trader is going to go long, like in here. Guess what is going to happen? It happens all the time. As soon as possible, the beginner trader is going to go long on the left chart. The market is going to do this to him. And the answer is short. The monthly chart and the weekly chart are controlling the daily chart.